welcome to my channel. I'm Mark, this is Mark's Mods, and today guys we're going to do a bit of a channel update on how things have been going and some future things that are going to be coming up on the channel. So yeah, it's been I think a couple of months since I last did my last channel update, and a lot's happened in the last month or so. It's been a very hectic time on the channel. Still finding it extremely difficult though to record videos and not being interrupted. This is the second time I've had to record this channel update video because I had like 3 interruptions in the space of 20 minutes that I had to stop on, and my own way of thinking and everything, it just wasn't good enough really to stop and start a video 3 times within 20 minutes. It's not great viewing. I wouldn't want it if I was watching a video, and if it's not something I would accept if I was watching a video, then I'm certainly not going to be like that on my own videos. So yeah, this is the second time, so fingers crossed everything goes well. Now the first thing I want to do is welcome my new channel members and patrons. So I did a 12-hour live stream last Saturday. I'll get more onto that in a sec, but during that live stream and the day after, I had a couple of more patrons and channel members. So the channel members were Mum and Son Train Rail fans, welcome, and also Mad Dad Hobbies as well, so welcome also. Thank you for coming on board. And then I did have another Patreon join up as well, which was Ian's World of Models, so welcome to the channel. Now I am going to be doing more with Patreon now, because I was waiting until the numbers sort of went up a little bit more to kind of really start adding more to the Patreon side of it. For what I can do, you got to understand that it's very limited for what I can do in a living room. But yeah, I am hopefully going to be doing some members and patrons only videos, kind of working behind the scenes, because there are certain things I probably could record. Possibly things I could record that I probably couldn't list public, or I couldn't monetize, because yeah, sometimes it's just me at the bench. I'm working away on a model, just modifying it or doing something to it, and then these things are not recorded. I'm sorry guys, I'm going to have to pause because the cat is interrupting me. So back in 2 secs. Sorry about that. You know what? I'm just on about it, and it happens. It is just a nightmare. It really is a nightmare. It's really starting to get to me now that I cannot catch a break in this living room. I know I've been ranting on about it, but it's just ridiculous. It really is that I can't do a simple half-an-hour video without any interruptions at all. Oh, yeah. Okay. So there will be some changes coming to channel members and patrons. So I am looking at doing members only videos, maybe members only live streams as well. Probably just working, like I said, behind the scenes. Might just go on for half an hour or so, but it just gives a little bit more back to those who have that are supporting the channel. And also I am going to have a look at doing icons for live streams for channel members, so they can put up their own personal icons that I can do. And also, as well, is this is one thing I decided, is that if you become a supporter of the channel, then obviously I'm going to make you a moderator as well for the channel, so you'll be able to keep an eye on things on the live streams. So that is where that side is going with it. Now the other thing is, I looked at my analytics a couple of weeks ago and actually found out that the ratio of people who are watching my videos that are subbed and not subbed, it's about 50% split down the middle. So 50% of the people who are watching my videos are not subscribed. Guys, if you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. It really does help the channel. It doesn't cost anything. I know a lot of people think, well, subscribe, that's going to cost money. It's free. And all it does is it just it helps me with my numbers grow. And yeah, if you hit the notification bell, you'll be told about any of the videos or community posts that I put up on the channel. And if you want to go further and support the channel, like I said before, there is channel membership and Patreon. On YouTube, you just click the join button, And then also in the Patreon, there's a link always down in the description of the videos for Patreon if you want to come along. With that, I actually had to change a few things because I've had extra members. I wasn't really satisfied with certain aspects of it. I found it a little bit more amateurish. And that was the beginning intro. So obviously I changed my graphics a year or so ago. And I love it. I absolutely love it the way it is. I have no plans to change the way it was. But I wasn't too happy where it did the kind of music and then it just cut. So there was no fading out of the music. And to me, I don't know, it just didn't seem professional. I don't know why. I believe I could do better. So what I did is I went into the program that I used when I first set up and created that graphic and the video for the intro, and I've extended it. So it's on for a little bit longer, a few seconds more, but I'm preferring it because it ends nice. And the music I'm using, I love it. I really do love the actual music. So it just fades nicely at the end and it just looks more professional. The same with the end screen for the patrons and channel members, where right at the end of the video I list all the names of them. That was on a scroll. And I wasn't too happy with the scrolling. And the music was a little bit, I don't know, it wasn't the best. I think it was a bit corny, really. So that's been completely revamped as well. I decided to take a little bit of time out to completely revamp that, get it how I always envision it, and it worked out absolutely perfect. And I'm really, really pleased with that. The other thing as well was the end bit, which is obviously the like, the subscribe and everything. I've used that, I think, since day one of my videos. I can't remember. And I love it. I can never see in the future getting rid of that. I really can't. I love it. It's just a quirky jingle at the end. And I think it was my first bit of real editing that I kind of did before I started recording videos. So a lot of that was trial and error. And it kind of needed tweaking a little bit. So the graphics for it are still the same, but the music at the that goes with that video has also changed. So it fades into it nicely, and it also fades out of it nicely. So it just kind of looks a little bit more professional. Also, the actual graphic itself, that fades in and fades out. So I had kind of updated that, but I mean, I started the channel, what, 2020? Was it? No, 2019. And I've had the same for the endings for quite a while. So I think it was kind of due a little bit of a touch-up, really. And yeah, like yet again, I've learnt a lot of editing and everything since then. It's nice to put that skill back into it and yeah, update it and make it look a little bit more professional. Now, when I was doing these, and it's something that's been on my mind before we moved, actually, since maybe last summer, was bringing the channel into 4K. Now, I know everybody's not got 4K. Not everybody has a 4K TV or anything else like that, but I've always been one of these people that try to keep up with how things are going, and 4K for me seems to be the way. And I really want to bring that to the channel. I want to make things as clear as possible on the builds, as clear as I can be on the videos as well. And it's not that hard to do. I need to update some of my webcams for the recordings because they work at the two stream cameras I've got work at like 60 frames per second. But with 4K, I think it's about 90 120 frames per second, so it's a lot more better. So them, I'm looking at getting a couple of 4K cameras. Again, that I'm going to be using to get them is what I get with the Patreon and channel membership money. Any of that money, I've said this before, that I earn from channel membership, Patreon, or any revenue from YouTube I do get all goes back into the channel. It's enabled me to buy microphones, cameras, tools, you name it. I've been able to get it with the money that I save. It's not something I get every month, because with YouTube you've got to wait until you've got about £60 before it will pay you. Patreon I think has to be above 50 before it'll pay you, and channel membership goes on top of what you would earn with YouTube ad revenue. But all that money, so if you come on and you support the channel and you decide, yeah, I want to give it some support, then basically everything goes back into the channel. And you know, we can do things like have multiple cameras set up, different tools, which enables me to do a lot better jobs on things. So you know, I think one of the last things I got, I think was Patreon money, was I got one of them portable airbrushes with the like the handheld compressor. That has been an absolute lifesaver. It really has. For doing small jobs, it is absolutely ideal. It's better than getting the big compressor out, the other airbrush, having to get the spray booth out when you're only doing a couple of seconds of spraying. So it has worked out a lot easier using that. So that's just an example of where things go. It always gets invested back into the channel. So with the 4K, I'm hoping to be doing that once I've got out of this living room and I've got my own space coming up in August this year. That'll be something I will look at doing. Now, like I said, the intro video and the outro videos are all produced in 4K. They're ready to go. The only problem with 4K is it takes longer to produce and it takes longer to upload. Now, it's not too bad if your video is, say, 15 minutes long. But if you've got like the DeLorean, which has taken 45 minutes long, it does take a while to process and it does take a while to upload because the file size is a lot bigger. But I think a lot of that is just patience. So when I'm back with my own room, there won't be a rush to do things. There won't be anymore. Down here, there is a, you know, I've got limited time to get things recorded, get things uploaded. So that is definitely something that I'm planning to do this coming summer. So fingers crossed that works. I'm already looking on the lookout for the 4K cameras. I think I've got a fantastic idea of how I'm going to do it. And also I'm going to hopefully add some more cameras for better views as well on what I'm doing in the builds, because sometimes it can be extremely hard to show what I'm doing. So that moves on to the next bit, which was last Saturday. And last Saturday, which was May the 4th, which was Star Wars Day, I came up with an idea with a group of friends on YouTube. They have their channels. You've got Sprue and Glue, Michelle's Crafting Corner, and Color Scale Modelling. I suggested, why don't we do you know, a live stream for Star Wars Day where we just build, you know, work on something Star Wars, anything. And what came of that conversation, with everybody's input, and from the live stream that was in when I mentioned it, from what was coming in the chat, turned from maybe doing a couple of hours in the evening to a epic 12-hour live stream all day on May the 4th, which was amazing. It really was. It was amazing. It was amazing the support that came in. It was amazing how many people were interested. I mean, I was umming and ahhing what to do, and then, to be perfectly honest with you, if I looked my head up like that, it was staring me right in the face what I needed to do for Star Wars Day, and that was to get down the Millennium Falcon and work on that, because it has been needing some repair work and overhaul for quite a few months now. When we moved in, I kind of just put it back up on the wall and just sort of left it, but there was already parts that were falling off it from the move because the super glue had worn down on it and things were just falling off it left, right and centre. I'd also got the power mod for it from Partwork Upgrades. So I really wanted to get that done, cleaned up, overhauled, bits put back on it. it where the want to, then I can put the power mod on and I can have it on when I want to. And yeah, 12 hours later, it looks amazing. It's not totally clean. And I didn't want it to be totally clean. I didn't want it to look like brand new again, because through time it weathered itself. So when I built it, I never did any weathering on it. Back then, I wouldn't even touch weathering on a part work or any modifications on a part work. No way, Jose. I'd just do it stock, and that was it. So over time, through dust and just what's in the air, and it kind of naturally weathered itself, and it looked really realistic compared to the film. So it's cleaned up a bit, but there is a lot of still, it's not totally clean. I haven't totally overdone it. And it's looking amazing. I mean, I'm looking at it now since I did it and thinking, yeah, that was really, but that took 12 hours to do. But that live stream was really good, really epic, and it's not something I could do possibly every day or every week or every month, but every now and again, then yeah. I mean, the logistics behind it, I'm going to say, in the living room, when you've got life going around behind you, wasn't easy. They kind of had to all work around me instead of me working around them. So it was minimal disruptions, and basically, it came, we had to time things. But everything worked out. It was totally amazing. I was absolutely shattered the next day. Well, I was absolutely shattered when we came off the live stream. And yeah, it was really good. I'd do it again. I just don't think I could be one of these people that could do it every day. I don't know how some people do it. I really don't. So yeah, that was the live stream, 12-hour live stream for Star Wars Day. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, so let's get on to the builds. Okay, so the Enterprise D. I'm going to do these in the order I've written them down, so there's no actual order to these whatsoever. But the Enterprise D, that is really coming along nicely. I'm really enjoying that build, even though it's quite repetitive, which it is, because you're doing deck panels, a heck of a lot of deck panels with LEDs and windows and everything else like that. But I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I really am. I can't wait till next month, because I've just received Pack 8 this week, and next month we get Pack 9, which is one of the main circuit boards for the saucer section. I can't wait to get that in and see all the lights on the saucer section lit up at once. That is going to be really amazing. So I'm really looking forward to that. But I'm loving that build. I don't seem to have any problems with alignment of panels. I don't seem to have any problem with light bleed so far. And it also, I've been able to do things to it that I probably wouldn't have done in the past. So I've done a few modifications to it, which I've seen online and stuff like that. And it is really looking amazing. I mean, I can't wait to build more of that. You could give me another 6 packs and I'd be happy just sat there building away on this model. It really is an amazing model to build. I couldn't modify it like some people have done. Some people have done resin windows and completely new lighting systems, Bluetooth, you name it. One guy did he made his own phaser arrays, so they look like they're firing. What? That is just out of this world. I am not that brave. I'm not that brave. I'm not that advanced in what I can do as well. So the modifications I have been doing to it, which is just a bit of painting and just a bit of other bits and pieces I've seen online and whatnot, I am really happy with. That build is an amazing build. It's going to be lovely when it's done. Send me more. I'll be so happy at doing more of that. So that takes us on to the U96. Now, I'm 3 packs into that so far, and I've only had one problem, which was the doors for the torpedoes. They were not opening and closing. So at the end of pack 3, you get to test the torpedo doors. mine were not working. Mine were not doing anything at all. They weren't opening, they weren't closing. I took the motor off. The motor was working, so it had to be something to do with the mechanism. So after pulling it apart to get to the mechanism again, I actually discovered that the gear that runs the mechanism, so the cogs and everything, they were quite stiff and they needed some grease on them. So I just put some silicone grease on them, ran it a few times to make sure everything was nicely greased up, and it works. Now the problem for that build is that motor that controls that system is not a very strong motor. So if there's any resistance in that section, it won't work. The motor just will not turn. It is not power enough to overdo that. So after taking it apart and then obviously greasing it up, it now works brilliantly, which is fantastic. But it just it's a learning curve to test these things in the future, even though it might not say test them in the magazine. Sometimes you can't really just test them because you might not have the parts with the test board in, so you have to go with it. I've got quite a few test boards now which I can probably test motors and LEDs on them, that I've saved from the builds. I've still got all my original test boards, so that is definitely something I'm going to have to do with that build in the future. It's a really nice build though. I haven't got onto any of the sprue work yet, so that's obviously taking the pieces off the sprues. I haven't got any around any of that yet. I think we start that in pack 4. But I'm really enjoying it, and I'm really hoping that at some point I might be able to get a few extra stages on that one, so I'll try and catch up to what it is current. So that will be really nice. So that is the U96. Now that moves us on to the DeLorean. So last week I got the penultimate pack for the DeLorean, which was 151, 152, 153, 154 and 155. And I didn't realise in that pack that we actually finished the hood box. So yeah, the hood box, when the video gets released, is now complete, and it's on the bonnet of the car. And it really does look amazing. I'm really pleased that I decided to go down the extension route. I know a lot of people on the original run didn't. And a lot of people who were getting this from Fan Home or didn't do it as well. They cancelled the subscription at 130. But I'm really pleased because this really does make the model finito. We can do all 3 cars from all 3 movies. And it's a really nice thing. Now, I will be glad when that's over. So next month, which is June, we will get the last pack, which will be 4 more stages. And that will be done. And yeah, I think I'll be glad when that's done. You know what? You go on a journey when you do these part work models, because it's not a simple over 6-month job unless you buy an entire pack, so you get the entire model to build. It takes 2.5 years, sometimes 3 or 4 years. Sometimes in the case of the DeLorean, because we had the problems with the previous company. I'm not going to say it. And then obviously Fan Home took it over, and I've been continuing that build. I think it's about a year now I've been continuing that build, but we've been able to finish it off a lot quicker because Fan Home have been sending us 5 stages per month instead of 4, which we were getting from the previous company. But it still doesn't change the fact that I probably would have finished that model by now with the extension if I was still with the previous company. So that build has been around on the channel for a long time. It really has. And it'd be nice when it's done. I think it's the longest part work I've ever done. So most part works, at the least, they finished in the hundreds. Some got to 120, 130, 140. This has gone up to 159 issues. So it's a real slog, and the extension is quite big. But you know what? It's going to be totally worth it to know that I have absolutely everything I possibly can with that vehicle and that part work. The only other thing I find with it is not many people did the extension. There's not that many videos on YouTube about the extension of the DeLorean. So when I get stuck, I heavily rely on World of Wayne. He did the extension, so his videos are there to watch. But it's going to be amazing. But that is due to finish next month, so look out for that, which is great. That's another finish on the channel. If I move on to the Titanic, now the Titanic is coming along nicely. Today, actually recording this video, I received my next pack, which is 113, 114, 115, 116. Quite a strange one actually. So we finally finished off the hull. We put the engine room in, so we're actually finally putting some of this together after we built all individual bits for it. And then for 2 stages, we actually work on the remote control. Now, I don't mind working on remote control, that's fine, but we haven't even got the main circuit board for the remote control to go into or to communicate with. So, yeah, it's a bit all over the place, really. But that is another model that's coming along, and that actually will be finished, I worked out, in October this year, which is amazing because we kind of started it at the same time as the Doll's House. And the Doll's House now has finished. We've got all the parts. Well, Julie's got all the parts to finish. The Titanic was a bit more delayed than the Doll's House. So the Titanic, we were getting an issue every 2 weeks. The Doll's House wasn't like that. You were getting an issue more or less every week. So we were slightly behind. Plus the fact the Titanic goes to 140 issues, where the Doll's House goes to 120 issues. So, yeah, but we've still got a heck of a lot to do on that Titanic. I mean, if we're up to 116, we've got 24 more issues to go, and we have got a heck of a lot to do. I don't think we're nowhere near done with all the detail, the railings, putting in the decks, the rigging, the cranes. There's a lot to do on that build, so I think it's going to be one of these where they cram a heck of a lot in at the end. A lot of them seem to do that, but yeah, it's a bit crazy. So that's the Titanic. Next is the camper van, another one that is actually due to finish in July. It's amazing. A lot of these are coming to an end. Excuse me. So the camper's coming on brilliantly. We've been working on the outer shell, and we've also been working on the roof. I haven't released it yet, but the last stage I did, we were working on the sunroof, which has gone okay. I just had to work out how to get the screws in, but I did in the end. I think the weirdest one for that though lately is working on the front windshield. The design of that is crazy, absolutely crazy. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. This roof that was, this windshields that we're supposed to be working on, because they've got brackets on, so they'll tilt upwards. The design of the brackets is just madness. I've never ever seen anything like it. It was so difficult to do. Probably worse than the windscreen wipers. It was crazy. I know it's an older part work. I know it's been out for quite a few years, but honestly, absolutely crazy. So that has been done. That has already been released on the channel. But yeah, I'm hoping it's all plain sailing home from now on, because we've had quite a few difficult stages on that camper van. It'd be nice to get that finished and up and running. And it's definitely one I'm going to take upstairs when I go upstairs into the new room in August. I definitely want to have that on display in the new room. So that is basically the camper. But that, like I said, is due to finish in July. And yeah, another model finish. That's 2 I've spoken about that are due to finish. The Lancaster is coming along nicely. It's a fantastic model, is the Lancaster. It's very fiddly, so there's lots of sprue work. When I say sprue work, what I mean is there is lots of parts on sprues that you need to take off and lots of tiny detail that you need to put onto the model, and it's very, very highly detailed. I am having to learn what to put on and what not to put on that build. So there are a few things as I'm going along thinking, right, I'm not going to put that on till the end because I don't want it to get scratched or I don't want it to come off. So, but it is coming along nicely. We're more or less now caught up with what the shops are. And what I say is that the shops are normally ahead on these builds. So, and once they're more or less 4 issues ahead, we get our delivery of them 4 issues they've already got. But with the Lancaster, it's been a little bit different, where they've been like 6 issues ahead. But this month, we did have the Lancaster early, so it came before the Titanic, which isn't normal, really. So we are more or less catching up now with the shops, which will make that completely right, which is brilliant. So that's the Lancaster. Not a lot really to report on that one. The Miura. So the Miura, well, that is another one that is due to finish next month. That is another one that will be done. So next month I should get pack 12 on the Miura, and that should be another model completed. And I'm looking forward to that one as well. Because the Miura was my first supercar to build. It's definitely going to look really nice. I'm going to admit that. I wanted a challenge of building a supercar, and the Miura definitely fits that that group. It has been very frustrating at times where we weren't getting a lot in the parts wise. It's a very slow build, very, very slow build where you're not doing a lot. In pack 11, we seem to be saving more parts than we're actually using more parts. So we're going to have a lot to do in pack 12. But again, that finishes next month. So that's what the DeLorean and the Miura, that will be finished next month, which frees up, you know, a couple of days on the channel. I haven't got anything planned to go in their place, by the way, before anybody asks. At the moment, there is nothing to go in their places. I am waiting for Agora to release the Apache, which should be coming in summer. But that's about it at the moment. I can't see anything on the forecast on the Partworks front that interests me. Remember, guys, I choose what I do. I only pick a model that I'm truly passionate about and or means a lot to me. So I don't just do the part work because it's there. I do it because it interests me. So that is basically where the Miura is. The Optimus Prime, finally, one of the last part work models on my list. That's coming along nicely. I know I've been saying that we've been working on the torso a lot. Well, this week's video, we're actually going to start working on the left shoulder. So we are finally working on something different other than the torso. Because for about 4 months, that's all we've worked on, is the torso for the Optimus Prime. So it's nice to finally get something different. Absolutely fantastic to finally get something different to work on. And again, that is coming along nicely. Now, if I compare it to the Optimus Prime that I've seen from Agora, I think this one's going to be smaller, to be honest with you. But yeah, this one is it's really nice. It's heavily detailed. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the Agora one. I would absolutely love to do that one. I would build that tomorrow if I could. But yeah, I decided to go with the fan home one because yeah, I think I preferred it. But I'm looking at the Agora one now. If Agora said, do you want to build this? I'd be like, send me the parts yesterday and I'll build it. There you go. So that's all the part work builds, guys. Caught up. Wow. So the other build that obviously is on the channel at the moment is the Trumpeter Titanic. Now that is actually on hold. The reason why that's on hold is it's really, really difficult to work on it down here. The desk size compared to what I had in the previous room compared to down here is a heck of a lot smaller. So what I'm doing with that at the moment is I have paused it. If there's bits I can do here and there, I'll work on it. But I've paused it until summer, when I can get up into the new room, which I'm going to have a lot bigger desk to work on it. So what I am doing is I am ordering parts for it. Like a lot of the RC gear is coming in. So I'm trying to get all that together, and then once I've got the room to work on it, we can have, well, I can build away to my heart's content on it. So that is what's going on with the Trump Titanic. That will be coming back in the summer. At the moment, though, it's stored away because, like I said, it's just not easy to work on it at all. So 2 secs. Sorry, my apologies. So the other thing I've been working on in the live streams and off camera is a part I didn't build on the channel, but I did do, was the RC Hummer by D'Agostini. And basically, that's come about is I'm refurbing that. I'm redoing all the I've stripped down and rebuilt all the motor. I'm refurbing that one because I never did that on the channel. When I started the channel, actually that build was coming to an end. So it's something I did off the channel before I came onto YouTube. But I actually found a website where the instructions for the Hummer were located. So I was able to look at all the instructions, and basically I knew then, or it sort of rejogged my memory of how I could strip it down and refurb it completely. So all the, you know, the inside of it, the suspension, the motor and everything else like that, that's all having a massive refurb. So I'm making sure all them bits are lubricated. Excuse me. All the bits are lubricated. All the bits are working. And then the outer shell, I'm actually repainting all that. So at the moment, I'm actually stripping it down. I'm just going to have to pause the camera while I have a coughing fit, because I have been talking for 37 minutes. And yeah, I need to sort of reset my voice. So I'll be back in a sec. Okay, sorry about that. That's better. So basically at the moment, I'm trying to strip all the paint off the Hummer. And once I've got all the paint stripped off the Hummer, I'm going to repaint it. I'm not saying what the colour's going to be. I have kind of decided on a colour. I've just got to go out and get the spray paint for that one. So that's another bit of a sideline job I've been doing, but I'm hoping that will look amazing, because when I did the Hummer, I've learned a lot in painting since then. So I've learned completely different, unique ways of doing things. I've started airbrushing since then, and I really want to do a fantastic job on the Hummer and really make it pop. So why not? It's not going to cost much, so why not strip it down, repaint it all, and make it look absolutely top notch. So that is what I've been working on with the Hummer. That more or less is it for the channel. Apart from things I'm going to change slightly behind me while I'm down here. So in a few weeks, maybe a month or so, the 3D printers will be coming out of here. They will be put somewhere, I don't know where, more or less into storage, because we are going to have the Julie's doll's house come down here. So that is going to go where the 3D printers are, because that is massive. It really is. Now, when I do move upstairs, this desk here is actually going to stay there, as well as the shelves as well. So it's an ideal place to put Julie's doll's house down here. So I'm going to have to move the 3D printers. I'm still going to be doing 3D prints, but I'll just have to get out the printers as I need them and just put them on the desk by the side of me where I build things. So that will be happening when Julie's completed the doll's house. Which, you know, it could be a month, could be about 6 weeks, I don't know really, as long as how long it ever takes, you know, Julie to do it. But that is going to have to happen, because it can't really stay upstairs. It's taking up half the desk she's got, so she's squeezed into one half of the desk, and the other half of the desk is the doll's house. But there's nowhere else for it to go while she's still building it. So there is that going to be happening as well. And that's more or less it for the channel and the channel update. And I can't believe I've rabbited on for nearly 40, maybe probably about 45 minutes when this is done. So yeah, quite a lot going on really. But I always like to keep things fresh. I always like to try new things, and that's what I've been trying to do. It keeps the mind busy. It keeps the mind active as well, because you are, you are learning other things as you go, and that's what the plan was for the channel. Is to, I always try and evolve it as much as I can. If something gets too easy, then I try and throw something in there hard, and it just keeps the mind sharp, should I say. But apart from the Apache, there are no other planned part works on the channel at the moment, unless, like I said, somebody says, "Would you like to build this for us?" I will happily do that. Somebody says, if Fan Home come to me, or Gora come to me, or Harsha, or any company says, "Would you like to build this?" Oh yes, please. I would happily do that. But at the moment, for myself, if anything gets released, I've got no plans apart from the Apache coming up this summer. So those that are finishing, so the DeLorean, the camper van, and the Miura, there is nothing in the pipeline that's going to replace them at the moment. And plus the fact financially that it's going to be a heck of a lot better, because I won't be forking out so much on part works, and then it just gives me better time to bring other bits and pieces to the channel. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. If you made it to the end of this video and you watched me rabbit on for about, like I said, about 45 minutes, I just wanted to make sure everybody was still on page for the channel update, really. And you can plan to get on. So, like I said in the video, if you want to become a patron, or you want to become a channel member and support the channel more, the Patreon link is in the description of this video. And the channel membership, you just click the join button on the actual channel page, and that will take you there. When you do, you will get your name in the end credits of every video. You will also be put in as a moderator for the live streams, and also, like I said, there are going to be videos and other bits and pieces coming to that as well. So but if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything. It really helps me out. And if you hit the like button as well, I'm not getting quite a few likes, and that's a very strange one. So if you can hit the like button, it really does help out the channel. It helps out the old, what we called YouTube algorithm, and it helps promote my videos to a wider audience. Well, that's what they say anyway, but yeah, we'll just have to see. Right, guys, I'm going to stop now. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to get a nice warm drink and soothe my throat, because talking for 45 minutes is not easy. It really is not easy whatsoever. So if you like this video, please could you give it a massive thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and hit the notification bell, and you'll be notified of any future videos. But as for always, stay safe and bye for now.